everybody. Long time no see. I don't know what it is. Must be 4 months since I did the last blog, but a few things been happening. Anyway, I thought I'd do one tonight quick because today I've had some visitors and I think they've done a splendid job. So I thought we'll give them a little bit of a shout out and see if we can add a little bit to what they've done. So today, Trevor Hughes and his father, who both follow my blogs on YouTube, not today. Today they arrived in Land's End and they'd driven from John O'Groats. They set out on Sunday, I guess, to get up to John O'Groats, and then they turned round at John O'Groats, and Trevor has driven his Fergie T20 from John O'Groats down to Land's End. It's taken them 4.5 days, which is quite an achievement anyway. No cab on the tractor, so he's had a bit of rough weather. His dad was quite happy, he sat in the camper van watching him, but it's share and share alike. Somebody's got to do the driving. So anyway, Trevor did it. He's been doing roughly 12-hour days when he's been driving and been covering some ground. His T20 isn't quite as standard as most T20s. It's a little bit faster. It's been fitted with a Land Rover engine or out of a Discovery, 300 TDI one, I believe it is. Anyway, if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. He'll sort it out in a minute. So I'll show you a little bit of film of when they got here, and then Trevor will tell you what they're doing and what we did. And then I'll show you a little bit of something I filmed some time ago and never actually put it up, but just make it a bit worthwhile. Okay, so over to Trevor. You're getting there as well. That sounds quite throaty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes well, it goes really well. It's on a foot throttle as well, so that made the journey a lot more acceptable. The only breakdowns we had on the way was that headlight come loose. We had to tighten that up, and the centre wheel bolts on the right hand side. Other than that, absolutely perfect, no dramas. It's gone really well. So the purpose of the one was to raise funds for St Mary's Hospice and Dementia UK, and the bonnet has got memories of lost loved ones, what people have signed in the memory of. That's the purpose of that, and they donate it towards the charities.
Brilliant. So how much do you think you've raised?
I reckon it's going to be what, 4,500, 5,000, 5,500.
Not a bad few days' work then.
No, it's
Not expecting more coming down when it's finished. People wait till you see if you've done it.
Yeah, so is this his first time out then?
I did the North Lakes tractor run. I drove to it, did the run and drove home. So we did a total of 120 miles on that one. That was its shakedown ride, which went a dream. The only thing was I had a fuel tank underneath the engine,
Yeah.
which we've done away with now because we'd have to be topping up all the time. So that's where we've gone to the back. We put a lorry fuel tank in there, 100-litre tank. It's just piped straight into the lift pump.
Is that an Oxfordshire tractor, Warwickshire tractor, XWD?
Not sure. I didn't have the
Just
reg
rings a
with it.
bell. I think that's Warwickshire. I might be wrong. So the tank on the back, what's that hold?
So that holds 100 litres. It's got a tank which literally just fits in. I'll open that up and I'll pinch your camera off you.
Hell of a sandwich box.
So we've got the 100-litre fuel tank here, just a filler up here. That's just hard piped all the way through. Battery down there, and the best thing ever is this phone holder, which just magnets on the bonnet. So you can see there, just clips on. Anybody want to donate? There's the QR code. Or go to www.tractoraddictsuk.com.
Brilliant. And now it's all the way back to Ascombe. You'll be home in time for tea. I don't think so. It'll be a late tea. Oh, you see what you can do. And you'll be bringing this back to our rally in September.
Maybe.
You said what an easy road it is.
Yeah. Whether I trailer it or drive it, I don't know. 3 days if I don't trailer it.
Oh, that's superb, isn't it? Did that bit of video and talked about what was happening and realised I'd taken 2 photographs instead of the video, but it was a lovely picture of me. Anyway, you heard what Trevor had got to say. He's getting money for this Alzheimer's thing. It is a horrible thing which is becoming more and more of a problem. You know, the longer we live, the more it's about, and I think it's awfully sad. I've known so many people that, you know, have been brilliant people, and they just go into this shell, and you know, they're sort of peering out of this shell and don't really know what's going on, and you can talk to them and they will probably make out they know you, but they don't, and it's horrible thing. You know, anything rather than that. I hope it's a bloody heart attack or something that takes me. I don't want to go through that, or put any of my family through it, if I'm honest about it. Anyway, let's get a bit more cheerful. When we had a little chat and film, we went down for a cup of tea and a donut, and then we came back up and we did a tour of the tractors. Everybody likes to see the tractors, and I like showing them round, but you know, it does. Trevor and his dad must be the first ones that I've shown around this year, and although I've looked at them many times, it's not till you actually point it out and you think, Christ, where's all this dust come from, and why are those brambles growing up through the side of the shed, and you know, the pigeons, my God, they've had a dose of diarrhea this year. They've shit all over them, and it's awful. We've got a little bit of cleaning up to do for certain, but anyway, they didn't give me enough notice. You know, I'd sort of 24 hours notice they would be calling in, and I certainly didn't have time to get them all out and polish them. So anyway, they enjoyed it. It was good talking about it. You know, if anybody wants to come and have a look at the tractors anytime, as long as I get a little bit of warning, I'm quite happy to show people around and bore you for, well, it could be 10 minutes, it could be hour and a half, depends how much how knowledgeable I'm feeling that day. So that was that. So we did our thing. They've got to drive all the way back up to Cumbria. They left here, I don't know what time it was, it's got to be dinner time, I suppose, and they're driving back now, so I doubt if they're back. So it's now about 7 o'clock, and if they've got back, they've done remarkable time. But anyway, I hope they have a good, safe journey, and I hope they do get back down to our rally. And if they bring a tractor, even better, you know, because it's just something different, isn't it? You know, it's when you're down here, to think you come from John O'Groats, that's a hell of a long way. I've never been up as far as that. I've been up as far as topside of Glasgow, and that's a long way. But you go, you know, that's another 200 miles further on, I suppose. Might be more, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we'll just wave them goodbye, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you about the other thing I was on with. This won't be a photograph, this is a video. Well, this bit of film I took, it could be 12 months ago. It was, I started it with every intention of going on and doing something, and we got waylaid, and it never it never did get finished. As you'll see, I drive it into the shed and reverse it in, all ready to attack it, and something else came up, and eventually it was driven out of the shed, and it's been put into another shed, and that's where it still is. But anyway, have a look and see what you think. Okay, so this is the 65 that you've already seen, but there was a few little jobs, although I got it going and did the steering, there's a few little jobs that still need doing. One is the centre of the wheel needs changing because that's not original. The other is a drop arm broken on there, it's chained up now. So I've got another drop arm to put on it. And the other thing, which is more important, is the brake still grabs and it drags you right quite fiercely, so I've got to sort that out. And I know nothing about Fergie brakes, so I've got to get in there and see what's on. I'm guessing it's a disc brake in there, but not the easiest thing to get at. I was hoping it could be a drum brake, but if it is, it's a very small drum. So there's a bit of surgery wanted on that. Apart from that, it's not bad. the steering wheel, the gap between there and the throttle, you may have noticed I caught my hand on it when I was turning, so might have to adjust that. The steering wheel was on for David Brown, and obviously the Fergie one is a bit deeper, so I will change that because that's not very safe. So that's the jobs that this little baby's got to do. It's a nice usable tractor. If a brake wasn't right, we could do something with it. So we've got to sort that out. So we'll see. So that's the 65. It was seeing it today actually, because it's never been out of a shed, but I have had to take it out of a shed that had got doors on to put it in one with an open door on it, and this salt air, it's not rusted out by any means, but it needs, I'm gonna have to get the tin off it and give it a steam clean and get it painted properly, because it's a nice tractor. Still haven't unseized the brakes, but we'll get ready to doing that. So that's that. Now I'm going to put up the whatever you call it for Trevor's charity again, and I'll leave that there so that you can do something and donate. And that's the first thing that'll go up. So I'll put that up and then come back to you again. Right, so there you go. So if you can make a little donation to Trevor, he's not going to worry if it's £1 or £5 or 100 quid or 500 quid. Don't hold your breath, Trev. There's not really that many. Anyway, so why have I disappeared for 4 months? Well, I had every intention of doing things, but I was putting it sort of down to the weather. I just hadn't got any go. I'd got plenty of projects I'd go and look at, and I did go and look at them, and then I think, it's going to be a better day. And anyway, it finished up that I do take a blood pressure pill every day, which, awful lot of people do that. But occasionally I'd feel faint, and I've never fainted in my life, but I just felt if I moved or took a step, I'd be on the floor. And just as quick as it came on, it went off again. But after 2 or 3 times, I thought something's not right here. So tootled off to see the doctor, and they did all the blood tests and things like that, and they found I was low on iron. Now, if you've ever been found low on iron, I can tell you what they're looking for straight away, and they're looking for internal bleeding. I can tell you I'm not homosexual. I had cameras stuffed everywhere, and none of them were enjoyable, and that was the least enjoyable. But I can see up my own arse, which it's not a pretty sight, I've got to say. But anyway, we did that. Couldn't find anything, so we had to do a bit more exploring. I finished up giving a bone marrow biopsy, and they checked that out, and they found that something was attacking my red blood cells. And it seems that, well, it doesn't seem, I've got blood cancer. Now, that's not as horrendous as it sounds. The doctor, when he told me about it, the specialist, and he didn't say those words straight away. He didn't say them at all, actually. He gave me another long name, which I told him to write down, and he said, I'll give you a leaflet, you can read about it. And when I got home, I read it. But, it doesn't terrify me. He described it. He held his arms out straight, and you're not going to be able to see them, but he said at the end of my right hand, he said that's leukemia, and he said, and you're right on the tips of your fingers on the other hand. And at the moment, I'm having blood transfusions. Once a fortnight I go in and they give me, it's not 2 pints, it's the red blood cells from 2 pints. And they're sticking these things to me, and the best way of describing it is if you had a glass of orange squash that was all ready to drink, and you drank a bit out of it, and you topped it up with a concentrate, and then you drink a bit more out of it and top it up again, and as you kept topping it up, it got stronger and stronger, and I think that's what they're trying to do with me. They're giving me more and more blood. I've had 13 lots so far, and I've got 6 to go. So that's all right. So you know, I'm quite open about it, not keeping any secrets. I'm not frightened of it, and you know, I'm convinced we'll be okay, and that's how you've got to be over it. But I have got sort of guilt feelings because I've never donated blood, and you know, that's made me think, well, why haven't I? Well, the reason is I've never had the opportunity to. I'm not frightened of it, but it's easy to say. People that go and donate blood, they, oh well, it's easy, you know, you just go and drop it. Right, where do you go? Do you drop into casualty and say, I want to give you some blood? And it's not as simple as you think. So what I am doing now is I've found out a bit about it, and because I'm editor of our local parish magazine, I'm going to campaign to raise money for blood, and or to raise money, what we're talking about, campaign to get donations of blood, and I will be putting the dates up on it, and it's easy enough to find once you get, you know, it's you've got to do it, and that's the thing. Open the computer up, look up donating blood, and you'll find out how to do it. So please do that. I've had 13 points now and 6 more to go, so I'm feeling a little bit greedy, but they're lovely. They'll give it to me, and that's fine. And I may have to continue having it. So I can't now. I've had this. I can't donate blood because if you've received blood, you can't donate it. If that makes sense. So please, for me, do that. And another thing I found out when I was listening to the radio on the way down to get some blood, there was our local radio station was talking about an event this weekend, and they're raising awareness of prostate cancer. Now it affects an awful lot of people, and it's a very simple test. They call it a prick test, but it's not that one. They prick the end of your thumb, just touch your thumb, get a sample of blood, and they can very quickly tell you if there's any signs of it. It's not 100%, but if you're told by mistake, you know, you could have prostate cancer, does that really matter? You know, go and get it checked out, because by the time you know about it, it's too late. So check it out. It's easy. You know, people over 50 like me, just over, we are the ones that are susceptible to it, and it can affect younger ones as well, but so the older ones do it. So what I'm trying to do is get this organised for our rally. We'll have a little area which is dedicated. We can't do anything, we can't really do any testing, but just make people aware of it. So awareness of prostate cancer and donating blood. So that's my missions for now. So I'll leave you some little reminders up there. I'll put Trevor's code up there again so you should give him some. Christ, we're covering some ground tonight, aren't we? Alzheimer's, blood, and prostate cancers. I know how to cheer people up. Right, so that's it for me for now. Hopefully, I got to say, the last lot of blood I had, I suddenly felt, if I say normal again, you can never get normal, but where before I was, my legs would ache and I was feeling a bit breathless, this last time I didn't. I felt like I should feel, and whereas I've been putting it back to a bit of old age, getting older and a bit more tired, I wasn't, and I'm still not. That's Ernie's new mate, Trudy. She's a bit noisy. I'm not going to bother filming her now, but she's my new guard dog. Ernie's still around, he's all right, but he's down the house watching television. We're up here doing this. Anyway, that's it for now, and see you soon. I shall be at, I'm going to the Cornish Tractor Club rally tomorrow, have a look around, going to this prostate cancer thing on Sunday, and see what that's about, and hopefully somewhere along the line I'll do a bit of tidying up here. Okay, see you soon. Thank you for watching.